Flyover Politic Podcast, the show for normal Americans. From this undisclosed bunker, here's your host, Tony Reed.
For me, this election will be this. It's the first time my wife ever voted. It's the first time my wife ever had political leanings. She wore a Trump shirt and was yelled at once, cursed at another time until I walked up. It was the ladies both times. But she went out and she voted. And when I have my Saturday show, I'm going to expand upon that because the reality is she's why he won. It's people that never voted, low propensity voters, and voter enthusiasm. The Democrats just put up, he's not Trump. And I challenge you to go watch James Klug, K-L-U-G, on YouTube because he did the most interviews on the streets. And you will find invariably every lefty just said, I hate Trump. I hate Trump. That's all they said. They didn't say anything good about Harris. And even the people who said supported Harris couldn't say anything she ever done good. She just wasn't Trump. And that's why they were voting. And I'm going to tell you, that's not going to get the fucking voters in the booth. It doesn't work like that. Donald Trump made a coalition of people, blacks, Latino, women. You can't say more women voted for Harris. Women always vote Democratic. It's mostly white single women. But mothers, or in my case, a married woman in her 50s, knew our country couldn't keep going to the left because they wouldn't fix what people were saying. And when you brought up things, you were a racist, you were Jim Crow, you're a xenophobe, you're a transphobe, you're a homophobe. The left, for 16 of the last 20 years, have just cudgeled people who don't believe in them. They won't talk to them. They won't discuss issues. They just use you're a transphobe, a xenophobe, a homophobe, a sexist, racist. You're uneducated. You're just so uneducated. We're so smart. You're so fucking stupid. But the problem is when you keep saying that to people and you never prove your point and you never even give proof to it, like this administration, which was made up of far leftists, people eventually get fucking pissed off. And guess what they do? They vote you out of office. So the Senate has already flipped. The House will probably have the same, more for the right. And for the first time in quite a long time, the right's going to have charge of Washington. And as an independent, if you follow this show, they're going to have to be held accountable. The last time they had in charge of the whole government, they didn't fix the border. They tried to repeal the Affordable Care Act 90 times. They also went after when they took over the House this time, the Born Alive bill that was never going to fucking happen. The left doesn't give a fuck if a baby's born alive. They don't consider it a baby. They believe you can go to 35 weeks and 6 days. Fuck that thing. It's a clump of cells. You were never going to get it passed, and you didn't own the Senate. Every time the right is in charge, they're as useless as the left. So for Donald Trump to build a coalition of people that he did and just shit the goddamn bed, all these motherfuckers are going to be voted out of office in 2028. The right has finally gotten gifted power. Not because they did anything to deserve it. The left has finally pissed America off so bad that for the first time in 20 years, something I did not know, the 2004 election, George Bush won the popular vote. They had the popular vote. And they're going to win House seats. They're going to win local seats, governors. It's a huge red wave. But that wave won't fix shit if you don't do common sense fixes. You have to finish what you said you're going to finish. Fix immigration. Don't just build a goddamn wall and deport people. Get a pathway to citizenship. Abortion. I do believe we need a national ban on abortions after 24 weeks. I think we have to go with what the American people want, and I think you need to pass it and take it off the table. If you really want change in politics, we can't keep going to every goddamn election talking about abortion and the border and nothing important like the economy, inflation, housing, all the issues that people went to the polls and voted for. You don't know how many people I heard in New York, New Jersey, Virginia. Housing's insane. You're paying $6,000 for a studio apartment. They can't live with it. They make $200,000 a year and they can't make it. West Coast is horrible. Where I live, I pay an extra $100 a month in taxes from just 10 years ago because houses go for $350,000, and I bought this house for $85,000 in 2001. Housing is a problem. There's so many important problems, and that's why Donald Trump won. People didn't vote for him because they liked him. They didn't vote for him because they think he's a great president. They don't vote for him because they think he's the greatest dude in the world. He's a jackass. As I said in my last podcast, I voted for him because she's worse. She had nothing. She's a flip-flopper. She said she's going to do both things. I'm a frack and not frack. Nobody knew where she was because she was in a box. If she said she was going to ban fracking, she gets a left vote. She says she's not going to ban fracking. She has to pick up the independents, but she pisses off the left vote. Everything about Israel, she couldn't answer because they're so goddamn extreme. And Biden and company and Obama and all of them bow to the far left. The problem is, since Obama, it's been 16 fucking years. The coalition of young kids aren't the same young kids. They're waking up to an economy that's garbage. They're going to school and spending tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars to get an education. They don't get a fucking job, can't get a house, barely make ends meet. You're not going to be able to guide them to the poll with they're racist or they're sexist. It's a different world. So as an independent guy who didn't want the left to be in power anymore, I am happy today. And I smoked half a cigar. But as we go forward to this podcast, if the Republicans keep on doing Affordable Care Act and Born Alive bills, I'm going to fucking shit the bed all over them. As is, I didn't vote for the person Donald or Taylor Swift was freaking out about. Not because Taylor Swift was freaking out about it, because I talked to her and she's a fucking moron. She knows nothing about soldiers' needs, wants, and her whole district is veterans. And I've been face to face with her twice, and Marsha Blackburn is a piece of garbage. I hate her. So I didn't vote for her. I voted for 2 Democrats. They didn't win. I voted for an independent. They didn't win. I voted for 2 Republicans. They won. It's a red state. So I protest vote. We as Americans need to look at this election as hopefully a sign of hope that we're going to get these assholes in Washington to start doing something other than bitching about abortion and not having policies for the border. We need to keep cleaning house. We didn't do it this time because we didn't have a choice. There was once president and a lady who's been in charge for 4 years with her feet on the desk, getting people are pissed off, leaving her staff, playing solitaire. And her only qualification was black vagina. Democrats would have beaten Trump had they put anybody but her. Maybe even Shapiro would have helped. But the biggest failing wasn't the candidate, it was the platform. You didn't offer America anything different other than more woke shit when they were begging you to fix the gas pump, inflation, and groceries. Women do care about abortion, not on the level as the far left does, or single women who want to have Plan B to save their life. Plan B's legal, you dumbasses. I don't even keep on talking about that shit. You can go buy it at Walgreens. You don't need a prescription, for fuck's sake. They care about it, but the average woman didn't really put that on the priority list because they want to feed their fucking family. I had a fucking video that I couldn't get downloaded because I lost my downloader and I got a new downloader, but I can only download like 10 files a day. The reality is she was crying because maybe I'll make ends meet. It was a sad TikTok. The media and the Democrats need to talk more about with that lady and understand her needs and wants, and less about the single woman who lives in New York who makes 6 figures, who all cares about is that she can go have unlimited sex. And if she fucks up because she doesn't want to take birth control because it makes her fat, she can go get an abortion on demand. Secondly, the abortion argument's really weak. He wants state rights. And most of the people bitching about abortion are living in states where you can get an abortion. It's not banned. So hopefully, for me, it's hope. Maybe Trump will be a more statesman president. I doubt it. But maybe he will work on the economy and the border and fix immigration, and maybe we can move forward as a country. But the most important thing is, we need more elections like this. A lot of incumbents got the boot. We need that. These people work for a year and start campaigning again. They're useless, and we deserve better. And most importantly, this is the 3rd election in a row where none of us wanted who we voted for. And that's a goddamn crime. It would be so nice to walk in a booth once in my fucking pathetic 57 years on this planet and actually want a presidential candidate. And the more I listen to J.D. Vance, he might be the one in 2028. But anyway, this